Is it possible to score 1 point in a football game? What a god-awful question, right? Everyone with an IQ over Cletus the Slackjawed Yokel knows that the only 1 point play in football happens after a touchdown is scored. The generic hypothetical naysayer probably sounds reasonable to most of you, and he's technically right. But he's forgetting about one play from deep within the bowels of the gridiron. Enter the 1 point safety. There have only been two instances of the 1 point safety in televised football history. In 2004 between Texas and Texas A&M, and in 2013 between Oregon and Kansas State. The NFL has never seen a 1 point safety, and odds are we'll get nuked by North Korea first. Anyway, what is the play that's so obscure a ref needed to preface his explanation with, "We have an unusual ruling," to dumbfounded fans? Seriously, look it up. I'm not kidding. The 1 point safety is the same in concept as a regular 2 point safety. The team possessing the ball must be down inside their own end zone, which rewards the defense with points since there's no further backwards the offense can go. The difference, and the reason it's so rare, is because the 1 point safety only happens on 2 point conversion attempts. Let's go over a few examples of the 1 point safety in action. First was a lone point awarded in the Lone Star State when Texas scored a 1 point safety against Texas A&M in 2004. The snap was placed worse than a driver using Apple Maps, and the kicker shanked his attempt since there wasn't a clean hold. The kick hit a defender inadvertently, and the ball ricocheted towards the back of the end zone. An unfortunate A&M player fielded the ball in his own end zone because he had no goddamn idea this rule existed. Texas got the 1 point safety, and the long snapper was vindicated. Next was the Fiesta Bowl Fiesta in 2013 between Oregon and Kansas State. Oregon just scored and was looking to pad their lead with the extra point. The snap was good, the hold was good, the kick was up, but the K-State defender swatted it in a way that would have made Mutombo proud. The ball hit the ground outside the end zone before a K-State player scooped it up. This unfortunate player retreated towards his own end zone because he had no goddamn idea this rule existed. In a desperate attempt to avoid being perforated, he pitched the ball to a nearby teammate. Oregon would proceed to take his lunch money, as well as the 1 point. Finally, we go to Monday Night Football in 2018. Bills Mafia was on the receiving end of a biannual whacking from the wise guy Patriots. New England unloaded another 6 rounds into the Mezzamorta Buffalo Bill, and kept Tom Brady on the field with 2 more in the chamber. Brady's Tommy gun jammed, however, and Buffalo intercepted his pass in the end zone. This unfortunate Bills player fumbled the ball in his own end zone because he had no goddamn idea this rule existed. Okay, I lied. That was just because he's on the Bills. Luckily, since he never left the end zone before fumbling, Buffalo was able to avoid the shame of allowing the first 1 point safety in NFL history. You've probably picked something up in the first few examples so far. The team who scores the touchdown has always been the side that benefits from the 1 point safety. That doesn't necessarily have to be the case, and it's the reason why scoring 1 point in a football game is possible. The challenge is that the defense would need to force the offense back 98 yards, or 97 in college, into their own end zone. Beyond that, the defensive team in this situation can't score the rest of the game and has to lose at least 6-1. I'm going to break down 2 different scenarios in which a team can finish with 1 point, one with college rules and the other with the NFL. Let's start with college. The NCAA is a little more lenient with 1 point safeties because, unlike the NFL, a blocked PAT is a live ball. Let's say exactly that happens and the defender deflects the ball behind the line of scrimmage. The ball hits the ground and begins rolling backwards. The kicking team basically has to go full Louisiana Tech and constantly tackle themselves trying to recover the loose ball, while the defense keeps kicking the loose ball further and further down the field. If this mad scramble continues all the way into the opposite end zone and the kicking team recovers, the defense has just scored 1 point independent of a touchdown. The NFL is tricky because with blocked PATs being dead balls, the most realistic 1 point scenario would have to come via a 2 turnover play. It would start with a 2 point conversion attempt where the defense forces a takeaway and has a clear lane to the end zone. Suddenly, the defender is stripped just short of the goal line and the ball is loose at the 1. The ball is recovered by the offense, but the forward momentum of chasing after the defender forces him to run into his own end zone. As he turns around, the defender trips him up for the 1-point safety. Obviously, neither of these would ever happen because the legendary Jim Marshall retired years ago, but it's not so ridiculous to think that a Jeff Fisher coached team could lose 97 yards on a single play. Anyway, this is the Armchair Analyst signing off, hoping that your team avoids putting up a score you see in the other football.